Are you strong enough to face it, or are you gonna need Jinwoo's help? Yeah. Okay, you're gonna need his help. Hi everyone, my name is Mimi and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be reacting to Solo Leveling episode 17 or Solo Leveling season 2 episode 5. This is what we're trying to do. Last episode, Jinwoo went through the reassessment and he's been deemed S rank, and it was awesome. And you had Choi and Beck running there to try to recruit him. Choi tried, but he didn't work out. And then you had Chairman go after him, and he's like, I don't want to join the association, Hunters Association. I don't want to do that. I just want to be in the dungeons and fight monsters. And then he got himself hired on Choi's mining team, right? The Hunters Guild, I believe that's his guild's name. They are he's there mining, right? And then there's the dungeon boss in there that's A rank, I believe, and he has not fought fight. Oh my gosh, English. He has not fought an A rank dungeon boss yet, and he's trying to, So he went there, and there goes Cha Hae In that shows up behind him, and it's like, well, what are you doing here? So that's why the episode ended. And before we get into this one, if you guys like my reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and please consider supporting my Patreon at patreon.com/feelme. And now let's start this episode, and here we go. Okay guys, in case the reaction gets blocked and I had to cut out the reaction itself, you can just look in the pinned comment in the comment section where for the link to the reaction highlight itself, so you can just click on it, watch it, and then you just come back for my review. Seems like we're going straight into the intro. I just realized I keep saying this just a few, like the last few episodes. I keep saying like I didn't notice that we were in season 2 until a few episodes ago, and then this episode on Crunchyroll, right when I'm about to choose the episode to watch, I saw it said S2 episode 17, and I'm like, wait, this is the first time I'm actually realizing that they wrote S2 like in front of the episode. Like, I didn't notice it at all. But once you click on the episode itself, it just says episode 17. So it's like, they're confusing. If they had changed it, like I had just finished watching an episode of a Classroom of the Elite. And then the very next episode that's coming up, there was season 2, episode 1. So that clearly tells you it's season 2. But with this one, it's like, they keep going like episode 17, episode 18, and 19. So how are you supposed to figure out that it was season 2? But I finally did figure it out. You're gonna hide your weapon? Oh, he hit it. You got lost? She gonna believe that? Yes, he did. She gonna sense something? She's smelling him. What the heck? What's up with the smelling? I know he said something. Do everyone smell to her?
Cha Hunter は他のハンターの匂いが苦手らしいですよ。ハンターの匂いですか。 俺にはハンター特有の匂いがない。
No, you don't, clearly.
確かレッドゲートでもあいつが似たような。
Yeah, that you are different. You're not
プレ
human.
イヤーだからなのか。
Is it because of that? I don't know.
おかげで早く終わりました。まさか回収チームよりも早く終わるとは。父さん、俺の下で働いてみませんか？
No.
あ、いや、お気持ちは嬉しいですが、空いた時間に来ただけなもんで。
And he wanted to sell his artifact.
ええ、明日のレイドが A 級と C 級のダブルヘッダーなんですよ。
再測定は明後日。待て、明日？
What's tomorrow?
ハンタースは明日もレイドがあるんですか？しかも A 級と C 級？
ということは来てくれるんですね。じゃあ明日の日当は倍出すように言っておきますよ。
え？あ、いや、そこまでは。
チームで働いているソン・ジヌって人のことを調べていただけませんか？
ソン・ハンターの現在情報が非公開になってまして。
え？
トップレベルのハンターでもないのに教会がロックをかけているのは初めて見ました。
Oh, he's top level, alright.
間違いなく何かある。
Mm-hmm.
これまでいろんなハンターに会ってきたけど、
He's the only one that didn't smell.
いい匂いがしたのは。
What the heck, kind of?
ソンさん、おはようございます。
What are they?
兄ちゃん、飯はちゃんと食ってきたか？
いやあ、ソン君。この感じ、しばらく忘れていた。
今日もすごいですね。
God's gift to blue collar men or something or other like that. Oh, yeah. I think that's what they said last episode.
日当5倍。
You fucked
す
up.
みません。
ソン・ギフン隊長。
運搬担当が来れなくなってしまって。
うちらですか？運搬
Jinwoo?
いくら手当がもらえても。
Don't worry. Jinwoo's
誰
go.
もいませんか？行きます。
Mm-hmm.
かけるほどの金額でもないし。
大丈夫です。俺結構度胸あるんですよ。
いや、度胸とかそういう問題じゃなくて。
ランクは？
E 級です。ですから他の人に。
いえ、彼でお願いします。
Did they tell him about Jinwoo or something?
昨日よりでかいですね。ですが魔力の量は昨日より少ないそうです。 A 級が6人、B 級が3人、 S 級こそいないものの、他のギルドならば絶対2軍なんかに配置されない人たちだ。ハンタースはこんな攻撃隊を2つも持っているのか。
So would it be right to say that they're the most prominent guild among all the guilds?
レッドゲートと同じような不吉な予感がする。気のせいだよな。
I don't think you're just imagining it.
代表や副代表ほどじゃなくても、俺は A 級ハンターだ。できないはずはない。
We'll see
来るぞ。
what's coming.
ダンジョンジャッカルだ。
Nice. Wait, was she the one that was having some kind of girl lunch or something and talking about some things in the previous episode? The blonde one.
首を見てください。誰かに飼われていたみたいです。道理で嫌な予感がしたんだ。
Frickety frack.
なんで？
Are you strong enough to face it, or are you gonna need Jinwoo's help? Yeah.
凄ましい威力だ。
Okay, you're gonna need his help. Are you able to take it? Oh, no, okay. It didn't even work.
気がつけろ。
動きを封じるのも数秒が限界よ。
今増援を出す。我が声で目覚めし。敵。
They clearly are well, like seasoned and battled and stuff, but it's like it's not gonna be enough. Oh, hi girl. Oh, freaking frack. Yeah, you're gonna need help.
待ってて、すぐ行く。
敵の数が多い。包囲されたらまずいことになる。3人ずつ班を作れ。ないじゃない。みんな知らないでくれ。
Oh, he lost his arm.
すぐに直すから。
That's nice. Don't lose your healer. Because if you do, that's it. He's waiting for death, which is not gonna happen. Wait, is he in stealth mode or is he still there for people to see?
今何が起こったの？
Because he sort of seemed like black and white. Okay, so he's helping them. Stealth mode, okay.
あまり部外者の俺が出しゃばりたくないが、見過ごすわけにはいかない。
Good.
バレない程度に終わらせてやろう。
But I feel like the healer noticed.
とはすんなよ。
People, don't believe that y'all did your part, but if it wasn't for Jinwoo, nah. No, I feel like when they do a report on what happened here, they're gonna be like, "How did y'all face these high hawks? You know, it's not possible." But then if they notice that Jinwoo is part of the team, then they're gonna be like, "Okay, that makes sense."
ねえ、戦闘中におかしなことがあって。
こっちも急に相手の動きが鈍くなったんだ。ひょっとしてジーナがやったのか。
Nope. I'm pretty sure it's her that was having some kind of lunch with other girls.
隠密系のいないうちにそんなことできる人はいません。うちの攻撃隊をバカにしてるわね。マジックキャスターがいるのに隠密なんか使って隠れた気でいるなんて。
Oh, so they did notice. Okay.
孫隊長、先に進むんですか？
初めて隊長を任されて残念なのはわかるけど、引き返した方がいいと思う。
Withdraw.
だけど、賢明な隊長なら。
You better be
で
reasonable.
は、ひとまず撤収しましょう。
Good.
これは
The red gate.
結界ですね。それも上位の。ここまでの上位魔術を使える存在がダンジョンの中にいる。
So it's not a red gate?
なんだよ、この魔力。嘘だろ。ダンジョンボスか。
急ぐわ、手伝って。
So it's not a red gate.
呪い、罠か。何して。
Okay. Jinwoo? Nah, no need to be hiding. Bring your people out.
ここで戦ってもし。
Bring all your people out. Bring out your army. Your shadow army. Where is Igris? And Tank? And what's Jinwoo's gonna understand what he's talking about. Because he's part of the system, right? The heck?
人間どもよ、世の名は軽々か。お前たち人間どもに会いたい。
Meet with you?
多くの大呪術師、
この洞窟の中にお前より強い存在はいるのか。
存在がいると思うのか。
Jinwoo?
選ぶがいい。兵士に殺されるか。
Come to me?
世に会いに来るか。
Come to me like what? Like how? Like
会いに行こう。
why are they going back? Aren't they there? Can they meet there? I mean, you came all the way out there.
僕らはボスが出てきたらすぐさま攻撃を開始します。 メイン攻撃隊に連絡してください。まさか死にに行くんですか？僕らの目的はダンジョンから生きて帰ることではなく、
短いですが遺言です。私の家族に渡してくだ
I like this team.
どうか生きてここを出てください。
この絶望的な状況、あの時はみんな。だがこの人たちはとりあえず預かっておきますが。
あの人がいない。採掘の仕事は辞めたのかしら。
He's not mining.
いう方は来てないですか？
ああ、孫さんなら荷物持ちとしてさっき潜っていきましたよ。
Can they go in from the outside? Or is it just locked from the inside? I mean, there's a barrier from the inside, right? What the heck? I'm not surprised. I feel like I shouldn't be surprised, but I'm surprised.
人間どもよ、よく来た。
So that's the dungeon boss, I'm guessing. Or is the boss, was he speaking through that orc thingy over there? Because his head was all doing things and things and things and things, and then he started speaking like normal English that we could understand. And then he's like, is anyone stronger than me or something or other like that? So it must be here. That's why I'm like, why? It was confusing to me because you're like, okay, can you mate with me? And I'm like, okay. And then, okay, we'll mate with you. And then he turned around, the guy turned around and was walking away. And I'm like, why are you walking away? You said, let's meet. You're here. I'm here. Let's talk. Why are we going all the way back over there? But, okay, that makes more sense. So it was the dude that's sitting on the throne. He's the one that was speaking through that orc or whatever, that creature that was speaking. Okay, that makes more sense. Because I didn't get it. Why are you asking me to me? We are like right there, face to face. And we're not talking over there. We're going back. That makes sense. What the heck? I feel like gets into these situations. He goes onto these he goes into these dungeons that turns into something that the original people that are going in there can't deal with by themselves, and he has to help out. That's what's been happening, or not been happening. It's been happening like since the beginning, because even the first episode, he's the one that sort of like figured things out, and then people were able to leave. I mean, other people died, but some were able to leave, right? And then he became the player. First of all, what is the player in this thing? I keep thinking that when his father was like, there's this calamity, something that's been born or whatever into their world that's gonna bring in this calamity, and I'm like, okay, in my mind, that person is Jinwoo because he's the player. He's the one that's been amassing a whole lot of power and all those things. So it's like when Cha Hae In he smelled nice to Cha Hae In, and he's like, okay, is it because I'm the player and all of that? So I started thinking, okay, is the player, first of all, can there only be one player or can there be multiple players? And if what I'm thinking that Jinwoo is this person, this entity that's going to be bringing this calamity, this disaster, and whatever, then is the player the person that brings this calamity? I don't know, but I feel like the player, we don't really know what the player is. We don't really know what the system is. We don't really know how this world works. Clearly, Jinwoo's father knows a lot more than we currently do, but he hasn't shared any of that yet, so we don't know. So it's like, what does this system want from you? Is it to bring in this calamity? Or is it to make you someone that's strong enough to stop the calamity that's about to happen? I don't know. But clearly, being the player or being part of the system makes him different than everybody else. It makes him not human, and it makes the beasts or whatever that are around accept him. Because when you go back to the ice elves were like, we hate humans and you are not human, so we don't have to deal with you, just let us do what we want, right? And Jin was like, nope. And then in this episode you have Cha Hae In that is like, are you really a hunter? Because you smell nice. So it's like there's something about him being the player and being part of the system that makes him different from every other normal human beings, and that makes the creatures in the world and the dungeons also think of him sort of like more like them than they do think about him like a human being. There's something different about him. So yeah, Chahin is like, are you really? First of all, let's just go back to the beginning. He was there at the dungeon. Chahin's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, oh, I got lost. He hid his dagger, he made the dagger go away. And Chahin's like, wait, did I see a dagger? I think I saw a weapon in his hand, or did I miss it? Am I misunderstanding? And I was like, no, you did see it, but since he was gone so quickly, he probably thinks that she didn't see it right. And it's like, no, you shouldn't be here because the boss, we don't want to disturb him, or you're gonna be whatever. And he just left. And as he was walking past her, that's when he like, she was hit with this wonderful smell. Oh yeah. I feel like this is gonna be a start of her falling for him or something. I don't know. We'll see. But clearly she's not interested in him, because if you're a hunter and all hunters smell sort of like bad to me, and then you're the one hunter that smells nice, like I would want to know more about you. So I understand her calling out to whoever and wanting more information on him, and then being told that Choi also is interested in him. So there's that. Now after that mining thing happened, the leader of the mining team is like, can you help us tomorrow as well? There's gonna be this double thing. So can you help us? And he's like, okay. And then he's gonna be paid double. He goes, and then the leader of the second team shows up and like, we need someone to carry stuff for us because we're short staffed and all those things. And I'm like, Jinwoo's gonna go, because first of all, it's A rank, and he's been wanting to deal with A rank stuff ever since, So I knew he was gonna go, and he went. And during the fight, when they felt that an attack was coming, you see all the members of the team just get ready, for battle. And he was impressed with that. And then they started attacking, and they were able to defend themselves, right? But then you had Jinwoo that was like, this feels weird. It sort of feels like what happened with the Red Gate, And they were, after they finished the first wave of monsters that showed up, then the real High Orcs, I think they were called, showed up. And they were having a hard time dealing with them. It was super hard time. And I'm like, people were losing their arms, and I'm like, are you not gonna do anything? And then I believe the healer, after she healed the person that lost their arm, healed the arm, and she was just sort of waiting for death. That's when Jinwoo started doing his thing. And when they first showed him, he was sort of in black and white. And I'm like, wait, is he using stealth? And that's exactly what was happening. He used stealth and was basically weakening the monsters. He's trying to do this incognito so that people don't know that he's actually helping them out. But there was one of the mage that's who do you take us for? Like, we know you use stealth to help us, but if you don't want anybody to know, then I guess we're gonna respect your decision. But it was just her that said it. So I don't quite remember. I'm sure he mentioned how many mages there were among them, but there was only that one girl that was thinking it. So if there were other mages, then I'm assuming that they also know that he's the one that helped them out, but they didn't really speak out about it. The healer noticed something was weird. Even the leader noticed that they suddenly started moving sluggishly, so they don't really know exactly what happened. The mages do, but they're not saying anything. So they're like, okay, this is clearly, it's gonna be way too much for us. We need to go. And they were waiting on the captain to say something, And I'm like, okay, are you gonna stay or are you gonna go? Because Jinwoo is like, if you're a reasonable person, you will want to go. And I'm thinking, you better not be like, what's his name again? What's his face? I can't really say that because he just was a coward. What's his name again? The one that became Iron, Kim Cho. Now, man, I'm thinking, don't be like Kim Cho. But no, he was reasonable. And they're like, okay, we're gonna go. But then, they were about to leave, right? And then the gate sort of had this barrier around it. And because Jinwoo mentioned when they got into that dungeon that this feels like a red gate kind of situation, that's why I was thinking that maybe it was a red gate. But then the mages were like, we would be able to dispel it given proper time. So I'm thinking, okay, so it must not be a red gate. Because a red gate, you can't get out of it. You can't do anything to it until you defeat the dungeon boss. So when they said they could do something about it, so I'm thinking, okay, so it's not a red gate kind of situation. And then they started working on dispelling the barrier, I guess. But then they were being hurt by it. And they're like, oh, this is some kind of curse situation. And then those high orcs or whatever, they just like walked out and then started. I'm like, what are you saying? I'm thinking in my mind back to the SL situation where it was only Jinwoo that was able to understand their speech. But in this particular case, they actually were able to communicate with everybody. They were speaking like proper English. At first, it wasn't English. It was just like this, but then it turned into proper English, and all of them were able to understand what they were talking about. So the guy's like, either die now or come and meet with me. And they're like, okay, we're gonna meet with you. But as they turned around and were leaving, the leader was telling Jinwoo that once they see the boss, they're gonna be attacking. So he's gonna have the opportunity to basically slip out, I guess, and try to get up. Yeah, he's thinking that if they start facing the boss, he won't have the wherewithal to keep the barrier up. Like the barrier is gonna go down, and that will give Jinwoo the opportunity to sneak out and go out and call in like a higher ranked strike team, to come and help. And then you have the healer, I believe, that was giving him her will. And it's like, when things are going dire and not good for us, please, when you're going out, carry this with you. And he remembered what happened when he was in the Dumbo dungeon, where everybody sort of like abandoned him when this situation was like life and death. And he's like, this team is different. And I love that. I'm like, yeah, I love this team because they're not looking to get out of it alive. They're looking to close the gate, to defeat the dungeon boss. Because if they don't, then the monsters are gonna go into the general public and start killing people, right? That situation's not gonna be good. So they are willing to sacrifice their lives for it. And I'm like, oh, And I don't think, even if they are fighting this battle and it wasn't going their way, and then the barrier goes down, and even if all that happens, I don't see Jinwoo just like go out and go call out a strike team. I feel like he's gonna have to step up and do something, because just the fact that this team is so much different than the ones that he was in, the double dungeon, the first episode one where everybody sort of like abandoned him, but not everybody, just a couple of people stay with him, like the leader, and but they had to carry what was her name away. So it's like this team is different. They are willing to die together. So I don't see him abandoning them and going out and to go call a strike team. I don't see that happening. So I feel like he's gonna step in. But then you also have Cha Hae In just also showed up and was looking for Jinwoo, and she's been told that Jinwoo is in with the other team, right? So I'm guessing she's gonna go in. But then, if the barrier that was erected from the other side of the gate, because clearly from the outside, it doesn't seem like there's anything wrong, from the outside. Because even from the outside, they didn't know that the magic that was coming out from the gate was not at a level that was alarming. They thought they would be able to deal with it. It wasn't until after they went in that they realized the situation, right? So from the outside, everything is okay, but from the inside, you have this barrier that's covering the exit, so they can't go out. So it's like, if that barrier is still there, can Cha Hae In go in from the outside, or does the barrier need to be down before she can pass all the way through? And if that's the case, then that means that the team, that Jinwoo and the other team that's in there facing the leader, the boss, or whatever, are gonna be in like a real battle, and the leader will have dropped the barrier. And I feel like if they're in in a real battle, and the boss is actually exerting the appropriate amount of strength and magic power, that he's so distracted that the barrier goes down, that power is gonna sip through the gate up to Cha Hae In, and she's gonna notice, wait, something is wrong, and she's gonna jump in there and try to help. That's what I'm thinking is gonna happen. But I don't know, I'm just speculating about what may possibly happen. So I just hope that this whole team, like, none of them die, because I like them. And also, I feel like the yellow haired girl, like I said, there was a previous episode during season 1, where there was this random scene about these 3 ladies that were having lunch at a restaurant, or is it breakfast, something. They were having this sort of gathering at a restaurant, and they were talking about the different girls, and Cha Hae In was mentioned in their conversation as well. So I'm thinking she was among one of the ladies that were there, because I'm like, why are we having this random scene over here? Like I kept mentioning it, that there are these random scenes that keep popping up during the episodes, that I'm like, okay, what does that have to do with anything, or like with the main story that's happening in the episode? It didn't really have anything to do with it. But then we saw her there. I'm 100% sure that she was there. So that was the first time that we saw her, and the second time that we're seeing her right now is during this raid. So I wonder if I will have to go back and see the other girls with her, if they also, I feel like they were all from different guilds. I don't know. I'll have to check. Thank you guys for watching, and if you like this reaction, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to see my reaction to the next episode, the link is in the pinned comment. You can just click on it and you can watch it right now. You can also catch up with all my previous solo leveling reactions. There's a playlist in the pinned comment as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. There is me, why you can, I'm all yours. And I can, but I can't stop.